Look legit.
Hey, good evening, y'all. This is the Bottom of the Bottle podcast. I am your host, Jay Walking, along with Carolina Dirt. We about to have a special episode of Bottom of the Bottle. This is one of the more educational episodes that we're going to do. I told you that this platform we're going to use to entertain and educate, and tonight we learning something. So I have a couple of members on my panel. I have Meek and Miss Ariel on the line. They are going to talk to us this evening about lupus and give us a little bit of background, give us a little bit of education, and how we can, help people along, So, how y'all doing tonight?
You want to go first, Meek? You want? I'm doing great.
Yeah, this ain't an SAT question. You doing all right?
A, B, Scantron.
I know that's right. Meek, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm alive.
All right, I know that's right. Carolina Dirt, what's going on with you, brother?
Ain't nothing. You know how it is on this Wednesday. We about to get this started with the connoisseurs of conversation. That's going to be our new shit. The connoisseurs of conversation.
I got to figure out how to spell it. I might hashtag that.
Well, don't worry. I missed a lot of letters, especially when I'm drinking.
Okay. So whether you've seen the show or not, we start this off with what we call first call. It's just an easy way for us to get a little bit of background, general things, how you think and the things that you enjoy. So I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna start with Mika. 5 questions. You just answer either or, which way you lean it. So right. The first one is: would you rather be gifted jewelry or shoes?
Shoes for me.
What kind of shoes?
Hey, I have big feet, so whatever's comfortable. So
this is huge. King Kong ain't got shit on these feet.
You say even if she passes out, she ain't gonna fall down.
Well, this just stick it straight up. They anchor her to the world.
All right. So second question: handguns or shotguns?
Handguns.
Okay.
I'm one of
I know that's right. Boiled peanuts or kettle chips?
Oh, I like boiled peanuts.
Yeah.
I love boiled peanuts. Barbecue or seafood? Seafood most days. You know where we from, cuz. It's just in the air. So you got a day to yourself. You need a book and a blanket, or would you rather have a quiet fishing trip?
Well, that's a toss-up for me because I love to read and I like the blanket and I love the fishing trip.
Okay. Well, we'll call that one dead even.
On a fishing trip, sometimes I bring my book and blanket.
That probably makes sense. You got to wait for the fish to bite.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the first call for you. Carolina, you got one for Miss Ariel?
Yes, sir. So how you doing, Miss Ariel?
I am doing great. How are y'all doing?
All right. This is a long time connection. We used to we grew up as kids. As kids.
We were little.
Little. Mika knew me before I was little, but me and you knew me little.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
You wasn't never little, cuz you was.
Damn. All right, he got the joke. So we're gonna say South Carolina Heat or Texas Heat.
Oh, that's tough. Oh boy. They kind of the same almost, but that Texas Heat. I'll say the South Carolina Heat. I'll take the South Carolina because this Texas Heat is.
She looked like she was going through it just now.
I'm sweating now just thinking about it.
Okay, so you're a fitness guru / stay in the gym. So we're gonna say Planet Fitness or a small independently owned gym to work out in? Or Planet Fitness / Gold, so a big franchise or a little independent gym?
Little independent. Smaller mom and pop gyms.
Okay, so you chilling, you relaxing. A mimosa or some wine?
Wine. No mimosas.
Champagne give me a headache every time.
Yeah, that's a lot of sugar, and that's a straight hangover just after one. So yeah,
Okay.
No mimosas unless they're with vodka. That's the only mimosa.
Okay, then.
Yeah, the champagne stuff now.
I've been adding a little bourbon to mine.
Okay.
So the beaches in America or the beaches out the country?
The beaches out of the country.
Beaches out the country. Okay, and the last one. Bowling or at the skating rink?
Bowling. I can't skate.
I'm about to say, at my age, both of them gonna hurt.
I've tried. I think I'm gonna put that on my bucket list of things to learn or something because I can't skate.
All right, that was first call with Miss Ariel.
That was first call.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries. So I've been doing this new thing where I like to share either like a social media person or story of the week. So I don't know if y'all heard about this lady here, in Detroit. This lady is out one day and the young dude with the dreads right there stole her car. Oh. So she tracked the car herself and ran up on this man at the barbershop and pulled him out of the barber chair by the hair, along with some other people in the barbershop, and recovered her car. She is my hero of the week because I'm a whole dude, and I don't know that I'm necessarily gonna run up on the person that stole my car.
Yeah.
You obviously desperate or retarded in some way, excuse the R word, mentally challenged in some way, to do something like steal a car. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But she is my hero of the week because she claimed her shit. You feel me? So if you found yourself in that situation, how do you handle it?
Well, no. I'll track my vehicle, but I'm going to call the police. I do because people are crazy these days.
Yeah, I got insurance, cuz I'm not really about to. Yeah. I don't feel about cars like some dudes feel about cars. I think they're a tool. You use them as a tool, and that's just what it is. However, I just applaud her bravado, because she meant that. Now, one of the most ignorant shits that she did, one thing that I want to knock her on is she slashed the tires on her own car in case the dude ran out and tried to drive away in it. He wouldn't be able to do nothing. But you kind of outsmarted yourself. Like now you got to get tires. Yeah. And the insurance company gonna flake on you because you did it. Mm-hmm. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And she's driving. Was it a Benz she had?
Yeah, Mercedes Benz.
You know them tires.
Yeah, they don't do nothing regular. They don't do nothing regular.
Well, I feel sorry for the dude she dating because she ain't playing.
Oh no, it's evident that she can handle her own. Yeah. She's gonna do what she gonna do.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know her backstory, but when you've worked hard for something and it's yours, you don't want somebody to come go get a job, go do something positive. Stop stealing.
Right. And then you joyride the car. Like if you stealing the car and you getting money off of it, you send it to a chop shop and you done with it. You really just riding around the same city that you stole the car. That's not real break.
Yeah. That's a big issue here. A lot
in
of
Texas.
Stuff. Oh yeah, they steal. They steal.
I'm sure of that.
They steal anything, a bunch of pirates.
So, so we gonna start this thing off, man. Like the real reason why we here, and like I said, I was on Meek's page. I got a lot of these images that I'm showing up here off of her page. I'm gonna go to you first, Meek. How old were you when you were diagnosed with lupus?
I don't know my exact age, but I can tell you the year. I was diagnosed.
Meek.
I was diagnosed in 2014.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I found out that I was in an accident, and I was in a lot of pain. Don't know where this pain came from, but that's when I found out.
Right. So, what did you know about it before? Did you have any experience, or had you been around anything that you even knew what lupus was at the time?
No, I was heard of the name lupus, but I didn't know what it was.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you the same question, Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
So, how old were you, or when did you get diagnosed, and how did you find out?
Let's see. My first daughter was born. I found out. I want to say about 2012,
Okay.
but I had a very small hint when I was on active duty, and they were just like, I went out one night. There was just like this weird patch that showed up, and she was like, "Oh, that's just eczema." I'm like, "Okay, no big deal," So fast forward to 2012. I wake up one morning. Well, I went to bed. I woke up, and I remember waking up feeling like I was like old, like like I'm like, why do I feel like 110? I feel like I had the flu. And then a few days later, there's these lesions that just popped up all over my body. I was like, do I have wingworm? What is this? So after trying some home stuff and over-the-counter medicine, it didn't work. We finally went into the dermatologist. Of course, they started poking and prodding and cutting skin, and pretty much elaborate at that point. And they just doing stuff, and so the results came back, which I'm still kind of iffy on the results, but the results came back as it's lupus. And she was like, well, you need to go ahead and follow up with your primary care. And I'm like, so what happens now? Like, what do I do from this point? So I ended up going to the VA hospital, and I saw like 6 different doctors: oncology, rheumatology, every ology you could possibly almost probably think of. And it was a mess. It was a mess. My eyes, and like, yo, what's wrong with me? What is this?
So, like I said, we kind of, I did a little bit of research on it. Carolina Dirt did as well. They said there are various forms of lupus. Is there a particular name for the form that you have?
For me, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. For me, I was diagnosed with discoid lupus, meaning that it usually only attacks the skin. But lately, a lot of my flares have been within my joints, so my joints would get inflamed, and it feels like I'm squeezing needle pins. Like, that's just how painful it can be, at times. Just it's so, yeah. But I mean, as far as everything else, I seem to be functioning properly. It's just mine likes my skin, so I'm like, that's the biggest organ on my body. Like,
And that's and say the type again.
discoid.
Discoid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, discoid lupus. So as you sitting there listening, me, is her story kind of familiar with yours, and do you have the same type?
I have the SLE lupus, the systemic lupus. So
okay, and how is that different?
Mine is a little different, but it's almost the same. You have different forms. My lupus can attack your skin. Discoid and SLE does the same thing. You lose hair. With lupus itself, you're fatigued, you have brain fog. Now I catch myself, I need a post-it to remember things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, with any type of lupus, it can attack anywhere in your body.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this: how long did it take y'all to tell the first person after you were diagnosed with it? And who was the first person? Like, you don't got to give their name, like just relation.
Well, the first person that I told was my dad. Because when my doctor told me, the first thing she said it was not, it was incurable. So when you're telling somebody that in the office and it's incurable, that means the first thing I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna die. I mean, we know we're gonna die one day, but that's the first. Like, well, how long do I have? So I was really upset. And after I left the doctor's office, I called Dad and asked if he was home and if he was home by himself. So he was like, "Yeah, what's wrong?" So I was explaining it to him. He's like, "Well, you're not gonna die yet, I was like, "Well, does anybody else have lupus?" And found out there was somebody else in the family that actually had lupus.
Wow.
Okay.
So same question you. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
A lot of people keep this disease hidden
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want sympathy, or when somebody asks me, "Well, you don't look sick." Well, how's a sick person supposed to look? I mean, who wants to be around a person daily? Oh, I'm in pain. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, I'm itching. I don't have any more hair. Does anybody want to be around that person every day complaining about everything? With lupus, since I found out I have lupus, when I wake up in the morning and I'm alive, I'm not 6 feet in. I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
All right.
One of the things.
Hold on. Let Ariel. Who did you tell first?
Actually, my husband was with me the whole entire time. When the dermatologist came in, she said, "Yeah, it's lupus." We didn't know what. I'm like, what is this? Like, is this cancer? What is this? What's going on? Because I never heard of the name up until, and I don't know of anyone in my family on either side of the family that's actually going, through this. So I'm trying to go down the rabbit hole. I'm like, where did this come from? I'm like, how did I get this and why do I have it now? Because they tell you to, stay active and keep moving and stay positive. And I'm like, I do a lot of those things, but, I guess for whatever reason or for whatever purpose, it picked me. I guess that sounds weird, So it's just it's a learning curve is what it is. And just like Mika said, you don't want to be complaining all the time and this hurts, that hurts. Because I'll tell you, I'll be in this house and my family won't even know if I'm even in pain. I mean, sometimes I'll go lay down, I'll go take a nap or something. I'm just really exhausted, I'm really tired. But for the most part, I mean, my kids are constantly active and somebody always needs something. So I'm like, it's go time. You just kind of just roll through it. And when you got good days, you got good days. And when you got the bad days, just take it one step at a time.
It's crazy that like kind of the way that I read it, this is my interpretation. It's kind of like it's an autoimmune deficiency, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of like your body is attacking itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't know how to protect itself. It doesn't distinguish between the good antibodies and the bad antibodies, and it puts your immune system in jeopardy.
Yeah.
I was stunned and not stunned. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the life that we live as African Americans and Black people, but that it is disproportionately women that get it. And then of the women that get it, African American women tend to get it, more than others.
Yeah.
Say 9 out of 10 women from I think they said 14 to like 44, 16 to 44 can get it. So after you've been dealing with it for the amount of time, like Mika, you've known now for what, 2-3 years or about 4 or 5 years.
No longer.
You said 17, right?
2014.
Oh, 2014. So 7 years for you, and you said 2012, 9 years for you, Ariel. What changes, or are there changes that you've made to kind of help you deal with it? And you can go first, Mika, and then, like I said, I want you to respond as well, Ariel.
Okay.
The change is, I feel like I'm an old person, as Ariel said. You know how the old, oh, it's gonna rain today. Yeah, that's me now. I can feel it in my body when the weather comes. You know, like somebody said, well, I mean, how is it? Can you describe it? Especially when you say body fighting against each other. So I usually use the movie The Clumps. I said, you know, in one of the scenes when he was trying to make himself, you know, look macho, so he turned himself to Buddy Love. So at the end of the day, Buddy Love wanted to stay. He didn't want to be Professor Clump anymore. So my body is reacting. No, I'm Professor Clump. No, I'm Buddy Love. That's how my body feels sometimes. And in the morning, I really have to pep up myself. Like, all right, you got to get out of bed. You got to do this. You got to do that. My best times are in the morning. If I want to do something, my best times are in the morning, because in the nighttime, and you know, once it gets like a certain time of day, my body shuts down. And you know, people, because you have lupus, that you're lazy. You know, that's the old thing from the old people. If you can't get up, oh, you lazy. No, you're not lazy. You literally can't do anything.
Right. So again, this is why we kind of this is why we take the time with the platform, so that we can educate people about that stigma. I dated somebody with lupus years ago, and it's a testament that sometimes dudes, they ain't shit and they don't take the time to figure shit out. And it was like, you want to do something, like you start out with this great plan. We're going to get together this evening. We're going to do such and such, and we're going to go out and have a good time. And then, you know, the afternoon comes and you like, so what's going on? You ready? And, you know, I'm not up to it. I don't really feel well. You know, I kind of just want to lay back and chill. And it's the same amount of pride that the both of you have shown, in that you don't want to keep saying that it's this affliction that's bothering you. You feel me? So I just didn't understand that. Now, I don't think that's why, you know, the relationship didn't work or anything, but I do know that I didn't do everything I could to empathize, you know what I'm saying, to understand what was going on. So as far as you, Ariel, like I said, it's kind of the same question. You've been in the fitness, you've done, like you said, you did all the things that they said that you needed to do. But what other changes did you make?
I'm more aware of what I eat. I still like red meat, but not as often as I would have it. Because I mean, you know, there would be times we have, you know, steak maybe 3 times, you know, a week. I don't eat pork.
I'm coming to live with y'all because y'all eat steak 3 times a week.
Come on, you can come visit.
Okay.
I don't eat a lot of pork unless it's like your applewood bacon. If you haven't had it, you gotta try the applewood bacon with some brie. Okay, I'm going off subject, but we do a lot of seafood. We definitely do a lot of salmon, a lot of fish, turkey, chicken. I'm well aware of the carbs, because sometimes your white carbs can cause inflammation. Certain vegetables can cause, you know, inflammation. Dairy products. It's just a lot of food in general, because if you really think about it, a lot of the foods that we consume, it's overly processed, and it's processed with a lot of unnecessary things that our bodies don't need. So, our bodies want to push it out because it's like, I don't need this here.
They put pork in everything, cuz when I found out it was pork in gummy bears, I was like, why do you even need that?
Yeah, and don't eat a hot dog.
Right.
My kids love hot dogs. I'm like, oh, have you seen a hot dog? What's they don't care. But we grew up eating bologna, so bologna and pork chops, and I like a good pork chop.
So, who helped you, or what helped you cope with it?
Me or Mika?
Both of y'all. Either whichever one. All right, Ariel, you go first this time, then Mika.
It was just having to understand what was going on with my body, and reaching out to people. Like, I would use a hashtag, lupus or whatever, and it would connect me to different people who do have the disease, and just kind of see what they're going. There's a girl that I follow. I can't remember her name. She's out of Louisiana, but she has a really strong following. She just had a baby girl about a year ago, and she has lupus. And then another girl I follow, she's actually, I think she got a liver transplant, this week, or maybe I think it was either this week or last week. And I just try to follow different people, and just try to connect to just what other people are going through, and seeing, well, how did you get through this, or what resources do you have? Give me some ideas on ways to cook differently, and to better support myself, so I can pass this information on. My husband, he's like a nutrition guru. He gets online and he's like, oh man, I got this stuff, it's got great reviews, and check this out, this might help you or whatever. And so it's just having a good solid support system of people who can empathize with what you're going through, not so much give you so much sympathy, but then also understanding that I might just be tired today and I just need some time just to sit down and relax. Because a couple of weeks ago, 2:00 hit, I was on the couch and I would sleep until about 5 or 6. Crazy, right? I'm like, I'm tired. I gotta take a nap, and I'm not the type of person that takes naps. So it's one day at a time, one moment at a time. And just make sure you got that good support system, because we need it. Everybody needs a support system.
What you're going through.
Yeah.
Again, that's what it's about. Is everybody's not inclined to do research. Everybody's not inclined to pick up a book. So, now we in this, everybody has to either listen or look. And that's why, like I said, both of you guys are like family related. I love my cousin. She just told me about it a couple months ago. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And it's a matter of understanding what people go through. Like, take the time to find out what's going on with people. We always are like, we'll sleep it off, or we'll get some A&D ointment. Like, we gonna choose. We always gonna choose the Band-Aid approach. That's just what we was raised on. You feel me? So, like I said, I definitely, am enjoying and educating myself about what you guys are dealing with. Did you want to answer, Mika, on how you deal and how you cope?
Yeah, basically, my husband, my children, and even with lupus, you have to watch your stress level, because that can increase that body getting attacked. Just like of course, that I lost my father about a month ago. So when we got the news that he died, everybody was like, "Oh, you gotta calm down. You gonna make yourself sick," because they know I have lupus, and when that stress level is high, I actually can feel it in my body. My body's about to shut down, or is starting to fight. It feels like my body's on fire from the inside, trying to get inflamed to the outside. like it's suffocating.
Right.
So let me ask y'all this: like, have y'all been a witness to somebody that may not have lupus, but you can see the characteristics in them?
Yes, because they may have rheumatoid arthritis. They might have fibromyalgia. There's so many autoimmune diseases out there that are not even addressed. That sometimes people hide behind disease because they don't want to know that they actually have it.
I've when my brother hit me up about this episode, like the first person I thought was, because I already knew you had it, Mika, but the other first person I thought of was Ariel, because since I've been following her, like, sometimes you'll post like you don't feel good or you hate the day because your body aches, and then just I do a lot of watching, and then I've seen you post about it, and then I found out this week that Snoop Dogg's daughter has it.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, I tried to reach out to her, just like saying, "Hey, we're doing this podcast," but obviously I didn't hear back. But that just shows you, like, well, it just shows you how stuff works in a pattern. Because just seeing that within this week of us saying we're gonna do this episode, Meek, can you talk about the Lupus Warriors? Because I don't know if Ariel knows about it, because I've seen you post. I think it's a sorority or whatever. But you don't ever post it where you can share it. You always post it, and I would have to download it and steal it.
Well, Lupus Warriors is what you usually call us, when we have lupus. But the name of the sorority is actually Lambda Sigma Sigma Lupus Sorority Incorporated. That's the first actually non-collegiate Greek letter sorority for women with lupus.
Wow. And I did not know that.
I didn't either until this was last year. Just surfing, like you said, about lupus on Facebook, and it popped up, and I was like, wait a minute, a sorority for lupus? Oh my gosh! So I started following the page, and I became interested in. I love it because there are more women out there just like me, and it's more understanding amongst each other. And I have no sisters, and I've gained lots of sisters.
Wow.
And it's an actual sorority. You go through all the measures of being
really.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's what's so, like, that's the part that, again, why we need to share, why we need to talk, so people don't feel like they on an island. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody that's dealing with it who may not even go to the doctor, but we have these times right now, we have this platform, and somebody that looks like you is going to get help. You know what I'm saying? We kind of understand that it is what it is in terms of they are working to find something to help in a major way. That I think that's the hardest part about anything that you're dealing with, is when nobody knows about it, or there's not, a quick and ready resolution for something that is ailing you, that is definitely affecting the way of your life. But both of you are super strong. You are mothers and daughters, and you do what you have to do in spite of what you're going through. So I commend both of you on that. And, it's not an award or nothing, but I'm going to take a shot in your honor, because this is the bottom of the bottle, and that's just kind of what we do.
I have my Topo Chico. I'll take one with you guys too.
It don't matter what's in your bottle. It never matters what's in your bottle. You can drink some coconut milk if you want to.
So, Ariel, let me ask you this. So if anybody follows you, they see you work out extra strong, extra hard. You do a lot of posing. You make it look like you work out real hard, unlike your cousin MJ.
I'm waiting for him. I'm outwork him.
Do people ever second guess you because of that? Or do people ever say like it's not that bad because she's out here and she's working out and she's sweating and she's doing all this? And because I've never seen you work out with another female near you. Like whenever you shoot your little videos, it's always like another man. So just the idea of okay, you working out another man, but you say you have lupus and you be tired. But if we follow you out of 7 days out the week, you probably post 4 to 5 of you working out before, after, or whatever. So do people ever second guess you about it, about how vital it is?
I would say I believe in the background that they're second guessing, but what a lot of people don't understand is that even with exercising, the overexertion can put me into a flare. And so it's almost like I know I can go further, but then at times I'm like, I need to pull back. Am I doing too much right now? But as long as I'm feeling good, then I'm okay. But I mean, as far as people actually saying it to my face, no. But I'm pretty sure, they see the posts, they see the videos, they see the food, and they're like, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with this girl because she can just go, 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 go. But then there have been times where a flare has put me out of the gym for a month because I feel just that, I feel just that bad. Or I'm just like, I'm exhausted. I don't have the energy, So it's just one of those things that if that's what they're feeling and thinking, then hey, it is what it is.
Well, let me ask you this, Mika, because you are kind of like the opposite to a certain extent. With all your, and it's kind of funny, but it's not. With all your sassiness, with all your attitude, and you being Mika, do people actually second guess you? Because Mika, you
changed that because she been sassy since.
Yeah,
we was knee high.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like the smart mouth, the comments that's not needed, the disrespectful comments, you think you older, you grown, and you think you can whoop somebody's ass, but you can't. Like all this hostility that come out your voice and you saying it with your chest. Do people actually you think people second guess it or just think she just putting on?
All the time, but guess what? I don't care what people say.
See, there you go. Ain't nobody asked you for all that. See, there you go. No, but for real, go ahead.
But people second guess. Oh, or they'd be like, well, you probably need to lose weight. If you lose weight, then the lupus will go. So then you look at, well, I don't see why, I'm thinking, so I don't see why you have it because you're not beautiful like me. So maybe, I'm sassy. I don't tell them that, but that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I have lost weight, and the thing about it is, you as the individual, I might can eat blueberries, and Ariel can't because that affects her body, and it doesn't. So you have to be your own nutritionist. You have to be your own doctor to decide what you can or cannot eat, what causes inflammation in your body, and reconstruct yourself. But I do find that like when I do my daily walks and stuff like that, that is a big help.
Now, Mika, can I ask you a question? Guys, can I ask her a question? Do you mind?
Yeah, it's an open forum.
Are you on the prednisone?
No.
Okay.
I'm not actually on any medication at this time.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I used to take an infusion called Benlysta.
Okay.
Benlysta helped me in one way, and it caused me to have memory loss in another way.
Wow.
I would rather have my mind than take that. Because it did help in the beginning, and then it started not working. And a majority of people that have lupus take Plaquenil. Well, I take Plaquenil, it helped, but then after a while, my complexion became like the black crayon.
Wow.
Yes, and how I was like, my complexion is changing. And then a friend of mine came home and was like, "Oh, what happened to you? Why you look like that?" And I was like,
I'm gonna stop y'all for a minute, just for a quick second. This is why you gotta love your family. You know somebody from your family put this comment in here, right? You see,
I don't know. I can't see, but I was like, yo.
Well, this one is for me. This one is for me.
It says,
but
you lost.
I was like,
Well,
I need to jump
I'm
in.
gonna say it's not in my mind. I can actually get you a mirror. So you can sing "Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who's the most beautiful one in the world?" That would be Meek, and not you.
I know that's right.
I like her. I like her.
I know it's probably one of those Palmers.
Yeah, it is.
It was Vel. I'm gonna rat her out. It was Vel.
Vel, you need to come on board on the weight loss, okay? Thank you. Yeah.
She can't afford to lose no weight. Her pocket's already touching.
In the front and the back. And the bike.
I know this is off key, but Vel, you cannot talk because you love the big women. Okay.
Wow.
We gonna just shush her. That's what we gonna do. We're just gonna shush Vel.
Oh man. So let me ask y'all this: when y'all found out, like, did you think about could you have passed it down? Because both of y'all have kids. Both of y'all have female kids.
Yeah, I do look at my children a lot. Like my daughter, she actually gets the rashes, and I'm like looking at her. You know, like we call it the lupus butterfly rash on her face, and I'm like, so when she says different things, I'm like, and I tell her, like, well, maybe you get checked out because I don't have lupus. I'm like, those aches that you're having, But I do keep an eye out, or even if my son, you know, men do have lupus also.
Right. Right.
A men organization, like a fraternity for if men have lupus, there's actually a fraternity for that as well.
I didn't know that.
That's dope. And that's what we're here for. Because we can't know everything. But if we pool our information and our resources and the things we know, somebody can get some help, man. There are people that are dealing with this that are worse off than the both of you. And then you guys might have symptoms that are way more severe than other people. You know what I'm saying? There may be somebody that just found out. There may be people that maybe think they have it. Because everybody want to go to WebMD. They should have never invented that shit. Because everything is cancer. Because you cut your finger, it's cancer. If you get a mosquito bite and it stay for too long, it's cancer.
So it's always extreme.
where did the lupus butterfly come from? Like, where did that? Like, is that the shape of it, or is that like the beautiful way of saying it?
Actually, like right around your under your eye and your cheek area, sometimes there's a rash and it looks like the shape of a butterfly.
Oh, I saw that when I was looking earlier today.
And actually, before I found out, I think I had lupus as a child. Because I got really sick as a child in the 70s. They really didn't have a name for lupus. So I was diagnosed with something called scarlet fever.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard.
Yeah, but as I started researching on my own, and I belong to like various lupus Facebook groups, and there's like 10 people all of a sudden say, you know, when I was a child, I had scarlet fever, and I'm like, I had that also, because like I said, I got really sick, very fatigued. I got rashes all over my body, and you know, and Maurice looking at me like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?" And then as I got older, doing different athletic things, I became sore and sick and everything else. And, you know, the traditional black, ain't nothing wrong with you. You're lazy. Ain't nothing wrong with you.
That sound like your mama.
We gotta stop saying that.
That sound like your mama.
Like even when you go to the doctor, that's just, you know, like a growth spurt or whatever. No, that was lupus. You know, if you ran track or played a sport and you're in the sun even for football, or whatever. And all of a sudden, I was like, "Dang, I wonder why I got these bumps on me." Oh, that's just a heat rash. But no, and it waited. I had like stomach issues, irritable bowel syndrome, all kinds of things started popping up. And then what happened was my normal physician was not in. There was somebody else that took her place for the moment. And when she looked at my blood work now I found out in 2014, she looked at my blood work from 2007 and 2008 and say, "Well, how's your lupus doing?" I'm like, "Lupus?"
You're like,
"What lupus?" Because she said, like, well, somebody should have caught it way back when.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said just soaking some Epsom salt. We have to get away from that, and I think we doing better. This generation is doing better about acknowledging things that their children tell them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Our parents came from, like, I'm finally understanding that they came from an entirely different time.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Oh yeah.
From where they came from. You can't blame them for saying that you got to shake it off. Drink a ginger ale, shit like that.
Especially from the country. Especially when they're from the country.
Go lay down.
They were very poor.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have the tools. That, well, let me go to the doctor today. No.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Ariel. With lupus and mental health, how are they connected?
Well, I would say the both are equally as important, but mental health tops.
Well, I'm talking. Well, I mean, like how, like your mental strength when dealing with lupus, like how does it make you feel? Even though your body hurts, are you still mentally strong, or are you mentally weak, or like how does
days?
I know you have your days, but like Meek said, some days she want to do something, but she don't. But mentally, like to deal with it going forward in the future, like mentally, are you in a good space, or do you know you have to get, like, you're gonna need like help?
I would say that right now I'm in a good space, but there have been times where about 2 years ago I started seeing a therapist because I was low, and I was like, well, I don't like how I'm feeling, the thoughts and just the things. It's like, okay, I gotta find an unbiased person to get this stuff out and say, hey, this is what's going on with me, but this is how I'm really feeling. So it really depends. There have been times where I've been in a flare, but then mentally I was fine, and then other times I'm just like, yo, I'll sit on the couch and just be like, what do you want? What do you need from me? I can't give you anything of me right now because I have nothing, there's nothing there for me to give. So a lot of times the kids would end up just kind of do whatever they want. You're like, oh boy, here we go. Like, well, it's okay. I'm not even, because I can't deal with that right now. I'm just trying to get through, this really low spot. But right now I'm, mentally I'm good. I feel really solid. So,
well, I want to say, because of what lupus is and the way it works, there's not a lot that anybody can do for any of y'all, for anybody that's afflicted by it. But in terms of support, when you do have those mentally challenging days, when you don't feel so good, just know that people hold you guys in high regard. Like, I look at you guys now that I've learned, and this is just a little bit that I've learned over since we decided to do this show. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are like the ladies from Wakanda. Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, I'll shave it all off.
I don't have lupus, and it's days that I don't want to get out of bed. You feel me? So by just ipso facto, that make y'all stronger than me on any day. You feel me? Because you have a real thing that might be holding you there.
Yeah.
For the both of you, and we're gonna try to close out right here. I'll let Carolina get in the last question after this, but what information would you give? And we'll start with Ariel back to Meek. What information would you give through your personal experience to somebody that thinks they have or just found out that they might be afflicted by lupus?
Definitely, I would say talk to someone that you trust, that is going to listen to you and not, pass judgment. And hopefully that person can help you, find different support avenues, because while going to the doctor is fine, it may not be enough for that person. They may need external help. They may need, to be around other people who are experiencing some of the same, issues that they're experiencing, because it's like when you learn about it, it's almost like you go through a period of grief,
Right.
because you feel like, yo, like, wait a minute, what you doing? Like,
Okay, I'm
you
sorry.
start.
I don't want, but it's kind of like we in a time now where we got to take care of each other, because like it seems like the world don't really care what's going on with black people in general, and especially with black women. Have you decided to seek out either a female doctor or a black doctor with your struggles with lupus, or have you just kind of used the resources that you had? Had you even thought about that?
I have not thought about that part, because since I've had this, I've been dealing with the VA hospital. But then that's something else that, I'm going to move that to a priority of mine, at least to another female, even, as long as they're willing to listen and empathize with what I'm going through, send me in the right direction for resources, support, hey, this might help, you could, there's so many different things that, that are out there that we don't know enough about. And that's something I didn't even think about that part, as far as someone who may look
Looks
like
like you,
me
right?
can say, okay, because I'll be honest with you, I've had some doctors in the past, and when I went and had that, when they chopped a piece of my skin off, the dermatologist, I was like, I can feel it. And she was like, no, you can't. I'm like, I can feel that. Like, my arm was not numb, so I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you made that point. Oh yeah, definitely. It's time
So
to go start scouting some doctors now.
I'm glad that I could bring up something that maybe you
Yeah,
hadn't thought about. Same thing,
I
Meek.
appreciate that.
Absolutely, same thing, Meek. In terms of what do you tell somebody that may have just got this diagnosis? Young girl, 22, 23 years old.
Hey, hold on. Before you answer me, Vel said, I'm still all she got.
Not at all. Because you got Carolina Dirt and Jaywalking too. Stop front, Vel.
But go ahead, Meek.
But go back to Vel. Now, if I'm having a bad day and a stressful day, just call Vel, because Vel did it. Yeah.
I know that's right.
If somebody approached me that have it, I try to be a lupus advocate. I listen. I'm a great listener. Because when somebody comes to you, that doesn't not mean that you always have to speak. That's why you have ears to listen. Just being there, for someone. And as far as the female doctor, I actually have a counselor that I go to who is a female who has lupus. I didn't know she had
Wow.
lupus until me and her was actually in a conversation. And
Wow.
so just talking to her about other things and lupus, and it's a joy, because people get very depressed when they
Yeah.
have lupus. Even the medications that some people take,
Mm.
it causes people to think about suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because when we like, oh, that person's crazy, oh, how could they kill himself? a lot of it is medication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to CVS and Walgreens or whatever, you need to look at that paper and read that paper
That
and
little
be like,
tiny insert.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
suicide. Because even though I was on Benlista, I find
Mm-hmm.
myself seeing like I was going into a deep hole at one time,
Wow.
and I had to just like jump up and be like, "Oh, heck no! You know, I'm too
Mm-hmm.
beautiful to be thinking about like this. I have brown hair. Uh-uh. No, let me go
Yeah.
take a walk." But then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when instead of us saying, "Oh, that's that person again calling," we need to listen because just
Yeah.
listening to that person did actually save their life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do not disagree with that. Um, this was dope, man.
It was.
I didn't, I had an idea. I knew, like, I got this from Meek specifically. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know, Elliot brought it to my attention that you also dealt with it as well, Ariel. And
Mm-hmm.
for just to be real, like, we got to share information. We got to pool resources. We got to
Yeah.
let people know that they do have a support system. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And the other thing is, like, we call this the Bottom of the Bottle podcast. We be in here, we be drinking, we be smoking, we be doing. We are not ignorant because we do those things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We
I
care
dig
about
it.
the people around us.
Yeah.
You feel me? So we're gonna try to wrap this up. Carolina, you got a final thought you want to say?
Yeah, we not ignorant. I say at least two big words every episode on purpose. I say two big words every episode on purpose at a minimum.
At a minimum.
At a minimum, and that's a big word because some of y'all can't say that.
Okay.
But for real, one thing our hashtag is like we are dope, but we are
Okay.
as dope as the people that's around us.
Okay.
And that being said, Mika is on our mom's side of the family, and Ariel, technically, we can say you are on our dad's side of the family, and find out that you're on our mom's side
Both
of the family.
sides of the family.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway.
you know how they roll. You know how them country folk
But
roll.
We ain't gonna talk about that. This ain't that show.
They be
Yeah, but
mixing up, so.
But just as we say, the connoisseurs of conversation. Like, I know we laugh, we joke, we do the drunk verses, we do a lot of. I know I post a lot of ignorant shit,
I
but
dig it. I love it.
deep down, that's like the balance. Like, you got to have balance in life. And
Yeah.
when y'all get off of this, just go on YouTube and look up Goody Mob.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful skin.
Beautiful
Okay.
skin.
Just look up Beautiful Skin and just listen to it. And kudos to y'all. I was watching Little Mo the other day, her song Superwoman. Play that. Watch 2-3 scenes from Wakanda with the black chick with the bald head. Feel strong about yourself.
Every time it's down to the get down, because black women show and prove that they the mothers of the earth, man. And like I say, I've been an ignorant dude a long time. I ain't gonna say that I've always done and said the right things by black women. I'm not gonna sit here and try and act like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as I get older and I look at my mother and I look at my family around me, man, I see the things that you go through. We got more surveillance now. We got more access to see things now. And black women is dope, man. And I don't never want y'all to forget that. I want y'all to flex on them every time you get a chance. I don't want y'all to be quiet. I want y'all
Ariel do that.
No, I don't
flex.
Within reason now.
Meek ain't being quiet this whole episode, so the two of them exemplify this episode. I just want you to know that.
I got something to say since you say that. I just want everybody to know next Wednesday is my birthday. Leo's in the house.
Don't nobody care about Leo season.
Leo season, cuz. Now Leo season real.
I got a meme for that.
Leo season's near. Do you see that in the horizon?
Leo season real, son.
Yes, sir.
It's the king of the jungle. It ain't no mistaken. Nobody looks at a lion and thinks it's a little cat. They don't look at a lion and be like, I should go over there and fuck with that lion, unless they white. You know what I'm saying? White people do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. And that's the reason why I brought up the doctor. Just real quick. One of the statistics that I saw says that it does not really affect Caucasian women. And that's the other reason why I brought up, had you spoken to a black doctor, you know, in your journey to deal with what lupus is. We over an hour now. It didn't feel like that long. Ariel, you got a final thing that you want to say to the people?
I just want to say I appreciate you guys for inviting me and I guess allowing me to be a bit of an advocate. And Mika, you definitely inspired me to, you know, post more about my story and to, you know, to get outside that box, because like I said, I did it before and it turned into this sympathy thing, but it's going to get to the point now where I got to shut people down. I'm like, look, I'm not doing this for sympathy. Like, just hear me out and just go with the flow with it. But this was simply amazing. You know, I had a really good time, and it definitely didn't feel like an hour. The vibe, you know, this was a whole vibe right here. So, you know, I'm feeling more encouraged today. The serotonin has been released, if you will.
There you go. This ain't no
That's what I'm talking about, man.
I better go get an encyclopedia on this shit.
Okay. Shit. What's going on, Meek? You got a final thought?
No, just be there for each other. You know, that's my thought. You know, whether it's a family member or a friend, just be there for it, because you never know what somebody else is going through.
That's true.
Absolutely. Carolina, what you gonna say? What you gonna tell the people?
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody in the comment section. Even you, Val. You was very active, which means you paid attention, and I appreciate that. But
you can appreciate that. I know who Val is. I can't wait to go on her show and fuck up her situation.
Well, Val, I was trying to give you kudos. Another big word. You better look it up. If y'all don't know, I try to give you some kudos, Val. I was on your side. But I appreciate y'all two women. Y'all two black women.
Yeah.
Y'all two extraordinary people.
Daughters.
Extraordinary people. And most important, family.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, for the public, man, this episode was about lupus. There are a million other things that affect a million other people. Yeah. Check in on your people, man. We got to stop being petty. We got to stop being petty, and we got to stop writing people off. If people feel a certain kind of way, they got the right to feel a certain kind of way. Yeah. If you're not going to do the due diligence to check with them, then leave them alone. Don't badmouth them. Don't talk behind their back. You know what I'm saying? Don't say what you don't have to say. Mm-hmm. He got a whole nother thing going on, cuz, but you know, he a daddy. I got a dog, cuz I wasn't making no babies. I'm not responsible enough to make babies. But this is the Bottom of the Bottle podcast. This is what we here for. We here to have conversations. Sometimes we just gonna get drunk and we gonna laugh. We gonna talk about bullshit. And sometimes it get really real because we got really real people around us. You guys are extraordinary. I love what we did here today.
Yeah, this is great.
We gonna do it again because I am now a lupus advocate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe, share this with everybody, man. Like you said, for whatever reason, all ethnicities are affected by lupus, except for Caucasians. It is not it's not something that they suffer from. So if you have Asian people, Hispanic people in your family, share this with them because you never know what might help. I want to thank y'all for tuning in always, man. Again, this is the Bottom of the Bottle podcast. Y'all take it easy. Have a great rest of your week.
All right. Good night.